All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Wabra. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you true, sincere brethren out there pushing out this purified truth, cleansing this wicked, defiled kingdom with this word, and to the rest of the church out there who believe as well. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him, none of this would even be possible. So it's back to that time of the year where a lot of our people are going to be celebrating another pagan day, which is not according to the scriptures, but according to their own vain imagination, according to their own heart. Okay? This is Deuteronomy 12 and 28. Observe and hear all these words which I command thee, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee forever, when thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord thy power. So we have to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We have to depend on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai if you want things to go well for you. Things are not going to go well for you if you're serving idols, if you're serving the God of these nations. Things will not go well with you. But you'll be given over to the curses, although all of our people are under the curses right now. Even more so if you're not partaking, if you're not trying to serve, if you're not trying to submit to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is verse 29. When the Lord thy power shall cut off the nations from before thee, whither thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land, take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. So don't be following after these heathen. You see them serving their idols, you want to figure out how you could partake in serving their idols. You shouldn't be like that, because that kind of mind frame, things are not going to go well for you, especially the times that we're coming into now, here in these last days. Verse 31. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy power, for every abomination to the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods. For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. And you have Israelites doing that today. You have Israelites literally sacrificing their children for fortune and fame, serving Satan so that they can receive some kind of benefit on this side. All right? Let's read 31 again. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. What thing soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it. So the law, statutes, and commandments have been given, and you are not to add or take away from that. Because any of you who take away or add to the scriptures, you're going to be cursed. Okay? In fact, this is Revelations 22. This is Revelations 22 and 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. And And this book being the scriptures, of course. If any man shall add unto these things, the power shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the power shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. So you can't take away, neither can you add to these scriptures. Everything in the scriptures is perfect how it is. So for any man to tell you that Yahweh and Yahweh Shai didn't only come for Israel, they're adding unto this book. Anyone who tells you that these laws are done away with, they're adding unto this book. If they tell you that the prophets don't exist no more, they're adding unto this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the power shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things that are written in this book. So there you go. The word's been given. So you can't go around trying to create your own righteousness, seeing that the words of the Lord is perfect. The Lord doesn't need some man to try to correct him and to say that he made a mistake. All right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the power and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So what is the whole purpose of the Israelite man? Is to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and to keep his commandments. Now it is commanded that we not follow after the ways of the heathen, not to serve their idols, whom are no gods at all, but are indeed made up and lifeless. As an Israelite man, your whole desire, your whole purpose should be in following the law, statutes, and commandments the best of your ability. That's how you serve the Lord, not creating your own righteousness and creating your own way. Okay? Let us hear the whole conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the power and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the power shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So you can't escape if you're doing evil behind the scenes. If you heard that you shouldn't be celebrating Christmas or Halloween or Easter or birthdays, but yet you're still celebrating those holidays, the Lord sees you. You can't claim to be in this truth, but yet you're celebrating holidays. Every time Christmas comes around, you're putting up the tree for your woman because you don't want to piss her off, or you don't want your children to not have a jolly old Christmas. You want them to be happy and fulfilled. Okay? No, the whole purpose, the whole duty of man is to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai by keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. And he sees everything that you're doing, whether it be good or evil. Okay? For the power shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So nothing is in secret, man. Okay? We have to quit following after these heathen. We have to stop partaking in these pagan holidays. Now, if your family calls you up and offers you a plate of food, If you want to take that, that's fine. But nevertheless, if they gather together in a prayer, you shouldn't be partaking with that prayer. And if you are, you should be praying to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in your own mind. Not praying aloud in the name of Jesus. Okay? Because a part of being in this truth, you have to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So you have to have a little bit of craftiness about yourself. Okay? For the power shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah now. In fact, let me get my light. That's Satan. I just saw it and now I can't find it. This is the book of Jeremiah 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. So this is about the Israelites. This is about the house of Israel. And as I like to put it, everyone in your house doesn't mean everyone outside of your house. So the scriptures is for everyone within the house of Israel. But at this particular time, it's for the elect of the house of Israel. Because the 2/3 aren't going to receive this. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord power, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands, the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speaketh not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also as it is in them to do good. So you shouldn't be partaking in this so-called Christmas, getting a tree and decking it with gold and silver and precious ornaments, so to speak. And when you have all those presents that are on the floor, a lot of times you might have the family actually on the floor as if they're worshiping the tree. Okay? And really it goes back to the worship of Nimrod's rod. Nim's rod. Nim's rod was at the top of the tree. But now, because you see precious ornaments on it, there was a time in history that it was decapitated heads instead of those golden ornaments. All right? But see, the way of Satan, the way of the heathen, they can take something evil and make it look good. And 2/3 of Israel are the same way. They can take wickedness and have it look fun or exciting or as if it's the thing to do. But really, it's evil. Let's jump back to 4. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. So you can't tell me that this isn't speaking of the holiday, or really the folly day, the holiday, the pagan day, known as Christmas. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. See, there was a time in history that people would actually worship the tree, seeing that the tree couldn't speak, it couldn't do good or evil, but yet you had idiots who would look up to the tree and worship it and praise it, man. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So you shouldn't be afraid of them. I just read to you in the scriptures how the whole duty of man is to fear the Lord and keep his commandments. So if you're going to fear anything, fear the Lord, because the Lord does good and evil. And a lot of evil is going to come to you Israelites who keep rejecting this word. You hear it over and over again, but yet you go on with your life as if you're not hearing these words. Okay? Go to my next verse. This is 1 Corinthians. This is 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 1. We then, as workers together with him, beseech ye also that ye receive not the grace of the power in vain. So don't take the Lord's grace in vain in thinking that you can do whatever you want to do. Here it is, you've been told not to celebrate Christmas. You've been told not to celebrate Halloween. You've been told not to celebrate Easter and birthdays and Valentine's Day and whatever else. But yet you still take it upon yourself to do it. That is called taking the Lord's grace in vain. Okay? We then, as workers together with him, beseech ye also that ye receive not the grace of the power in vain. For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in a day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Okay? So we're coming into that time. The time of what? The time of salvation. This is the book of Romans. This is Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So salvation is close. And seeing that salvation is close, we shouldn't be taking the Lord's grace in vain. We shouldn't take it as a light thing or as a joke, okay? The Lord's grace is precious, seeing that we don't even deserve it. But yet, he is pouring out his grace day by day, okay? Romans 13 and 11 again. And that knowing the time, and how do we know what time it is? By measuring the time, according to 2nd Ezra 9. Okay, I may have to get that. That now it is high time to awake out of sleep. And this is speaking of spiritual sleep, not actual sleep. Because you have those who are not in bed, they're awake, they're moving around, but nevertheless, spiritually, they're sleepwalkers, man. Okay? The Lord is calling you to wake up spiritually and to come back into this word. He's calling the nation of Israel to repent. This is about the Israelites, man. Okay? For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So salvation is closer than what you think, man. Okay? Verse 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. So we have to put on that armor of light. Because if you know anything about light, it consumes darkness. And we are in a world full of darkness. And you don't want to be consumed in that. Okay? You want to be called out from the world. Although the wicked of this world prosper, they're going to pay for their sins. That dark lifestyle that they live in is going to lead them to a very dark ending. Okay? So seeing the times that we are in, let's jump to the book of 2nd Ezra. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's why you have earthquakes, you have volcanoes, you have fires going off in diverse places throughout the earth. Because the Heavenly Father had prophesied that in these end times that would happen. So that's where we're living right now. You're fine. This is verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So that's how you know Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is not like these other idols, man. He's the actual true power. He has life. He does good and he does evil. So that is a power to fear. Okay? And he called everything from the very beginning. And that's where we are right now. He already called it. Okay? For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning, let me start over. For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And the end is being made manifest right before our eyes. Because one of the final prophecies, being the RFID microchip, is here right now. It's here literally in the flesh of certain people. Okay? Just like how Yahweh Shai came in the flesh, you have the RFID microchip. It's here in the flesh, man. You literally have people giving in to the mark of the beast before they're even being forced to take it. So how much more when people are forced to take it? So the end is being made manifest every day, man. That's the time we're in. But yet you still have 2/3 of our people trying to celebrate this pagan holiday. Okay? Taking the Lord's grace in vain. This is the book of Sirach 5 and verse, I'll start at 1. Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. So don't be proud, okay? You need to be humble. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. And say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. So don't think that the Lord isn't going to judge you because he's allowed you to be consumed in your own wickedness, and no judgment has came. No judgment has been brought forth upon you. Okay? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai sees your works, whether it be good or evil. And one of the things that the Lord hates is pride, man. And a lot of our people are proud and they're boasters of themselves. That's why they don't want to let go of pagan holidays. That's why they don't want to let go of pork. That's why they want to do what they want to do. Okay? This is verse 4, Sirach 5 and 4. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long-suffering. He will in no wise let thee go. So the Lord is long-suffering. The Lord, through his patience, is allowing our people to partake in these pagan customs. The Lord, through his long-suffering and his patience, is allowing 2/3 to take advantage of his word. Is allowing 2/3 to take advantage of his prophets and abuse his men. Okay? Verse 5. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. So what did I read earlier? The whole duty of man is to fear the Lord and to keep his commandments. Okay? If you don't fear the Lord, what are you going to do? You're going to add sin unto sin. Let's read that again. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. And say not, his mercy is great. So don't take the Lord's grace in vain. Don't say, oh, the Lord is so merciful that I can do whatever I want to. The Lord understands my heart. He knows that I love him, but I'm still going to celebrate Christmas. The Lord knows I love him, but I'm still going to put my rod inside of this married woman. The Lord knows that I'm weak, and the Lord knows I'm trying, but I'm going to just bite into this bacon sandwich one last time, although I keep saying that. Okay? And say not, his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. So don't say the Lord is a pacifist, man. Don't think the Lord is just pacified and he's going to allow you to just do your wickedness and then skate off into peacefulness. You get to do whatever you want, be wicked and evil, and then at the end of it all, the Lord just allows you to ice skate into the kingdom with your hands up in the air, eating Pop-Tarts and bubble gum and cupcakes, man. That's not how it's going down, okay? But that's the mentality of those who take the Lord's grace in vain. And say not, his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins, for mercy and wrath come from him. And his imagination resteth, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. So the Lord is going to pay back you wicked people for all of your evil deeds because you're taking his grace in vain, which is going against the book of 1 Corinthians 6 and 1. Okay? Verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. So don't say, well, I'm going to celebrate one more Christmas, although you heard this truth 2 years ago. You already went through 2 Christmases, And you're going to take another one by saying, well, the Lord understands my heart. He knows I love him. This will be the last time, I promise. No, don't do that, man. Because the Lord, he doesn't have to forgive you. The Lord doesn't have to give you another day to live your life. Okay? You can have it in your mind that you're going to celebrate Christmas one more time and the Lord just take you out the earth. Or the Lord strikes you with blindness, physical blindness. Okay? So let's read this again. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So that's showing you how the Lord is patient, but eventually his patience, eventually his patience runs out, as it always does. Just like people, we have a certain amount of patience before you lose it. Well, the Heavenly Father, he's patient right now, but eventually he's going to lose that patience. Okay? Verse 8, set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. So if you're out here robbing and stealing in order to get a profit, Esau, that is not going to profit you in the day of evil. Now, when you look at America, America is stolen. It's stolen property. Okay? When you look at the Israelites, the Negro, Latino, and Native American, were stolen property. Okay? And if the Lord was to come back today, he would still find his stolen property in the hands of the thief. So we are the goods unjustly gotten. Okay? Set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten. And you also have 2/3 who sell out and who do wicked things to receive fame and fortune in this world. All right? For they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. Went on not with every wind, and go not into every way. For so doth the sinner that hath a double tongue. So you have to be grounded in this truth. You can't be like a feather in the wind and you go wherever the wind takes you. You basically have to have yourself grounded in this truth. And you have to know that what we're doing is the truth. This is the way. And there is no other way, okay? Went on not with every wind, and go not into every way. And you have certain people, they believe that, you know, there's many truths out there. You can take from Egyptology and mix it with this truth, mix with Buddhism, mix with Christianity, mix with whatever ideology you made up, and then you put it in one burrito and you eat it up, man. And then what happens, you begin to vomit because you're intaking a bunch of BS. Because a lot of you don't think the truth is enough. Okay? So you went on in every doctrine. And go not into every way, for so doth the sinner that hath a double tongue. So you can't be like these sinners who have a double tongue. They'll tell you they believe, but then they're doing everything contrary to what they claim to believe is. Okay? Yeah, people who claim to love everybody, but they hate us though. You have people who claim to go along to get along until somebody steals from them. Okay? So we have to be firm and grounded in our belief. We can't have a double tongue, or we can't have a double mind. Okay? This is James chapter 1. And verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you're either in the truth or you're not in the truth. You can't live a double life, man. You have one body. You don't have two bodies. Okay? You have one body. So you have to have one mind. Yahweh Shai isn't looking for a double-minded man, one who claims to believe, but then when he goes through persecution and rejection, all of a sudden he doesn't believe no more. Okay? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And that's why the scriptures also mention how knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. That means those men who are stable from their wisdom are going to be dead set on this truth. They're not going to be looking for other doctrines or other ways, but putting their faith wholly in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, fully and thoroughly, with no wavering. Okay? You can't tarry, man. You're either in this thing or you're not. Okay? Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted, because the last shall be first and the first shall be last. So you have many people who are first in this world, in whatever way they're first. In the kingdom, they may be last. Not saying that those who are first now may not be first in the kingdom also, but primarily those who are first in this world are going to be last in the kingdom. And that's why women are going back under the men, because they're exalted in this kingdom, but the men have been brought low. Because the scriptures tell you how, you know, a woman surpassing a man is a new thing in the earth, and the Lord did that to us. Okay? I want to jump to the book of Isaiah right quick. This is Isaiah 29 and 19. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. So just like I said, the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. So the meek, being the lowly or the humble, okay, they're going to increase in their joy. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is dealing with the Israelites. We're the Lord's people, man. Okay, the Lord isn't dealing with 2/3 of our people at this particular time. Okay? So although we're looked at as poor, the Lord is going to exalt us eventually. Because you have a lot of people who may have money in this world, but when it comes down, they're really miserable, man. They're sad, pathetic, and they're miserable. Okay? Revelations . This is the book of Revelations 3. And I'll start at verse 17. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increase with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. So a lot of people who are quote unquote rich according to this world, a lot of them really don't understand that they don't know anything, and they're poor and they're naked, man. Okay? And really, to have real riches is to be free. You can't be rich in this world and be free at the same time, because guess what? If you're a quote unquote millionaire, if you withdraw a certain amount of money out of your bank, you'll get questioned for it, okay? Because the ones you sold your soul to They want to keep track on what you're spending your money on. They don't want you investing in your old neighborhood. They don't want you investing in the Israelite community. They want you to spend your money on diamonds, jewelry, shoes, clothes, and cars. That way you don't have nothing to show for it, man. They don't want you to invest in your community. But nevertheless, you have those who are rich and think they're okay. They think that they're well off, but really deep down inside, they're miserable. Okay? You have certain celebrities who can't even, who can't be in a room by themselves with a mirror because they see demons, or they look at themselves and think of all the shameful things that they had to do to receive that position. So-called white man Esau, he robbed, raped, and murdered to get to his position. And that's why a lot of them are miserable and they're really poor. And it's going to show in the kingdom. Because see, they're first right now, but in the kingdom, they're going to be the last. Okay? I'm going to go to the book of Psalms. Chapter 37. And verse 11. Psalms 37 and verse 11. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. So the meek, those who are lowly right now, those who have that humble spirit, you're going to receive everything, man, in abundance. And you're going to have peace. So you're not going to have to deal or worry about thieves and robbers coming to take from you. You're going to own this planet. You're going to own the universe right along with Yahweh Shai, because we're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. Okay? So Yahweh Shai, King David, the 12 and the rest of the 144,000 and the rest of that great multitude are going to have rulership and dominion over this whole entire universe. And we have to be considered the lowly because this world rejects the truth. So in order for you to do something that is rejected and despised by others, it will take a sense of humility. Okay? But the meek shall inherit the earth, which also goes back into the first shall be last and the last shall be first, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. So they're looking at us trying to find ways to bring us down. Okay? Because when you depart from evil, you make yourself a prey in this world. And that's exactly what is going on. Because we departed from evil, we're being looked at as prey in this world. Okay? But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. So the Lord sees that the day of the so-called white man is coming. Because see, right now, my people are lowly, in this low condition, in this society. But eventually what is going to happen is the Lord is going to judge you devils and bring you down low, just as his people were brought down low. Okay? So how much more the devil? All right? And just as you have the so-called white man, they'll laugh at us, probably think this is a joke, see us as just average Jake or whatever. But see, these Edomites don't even know that the Lord's actually laughing at them as well, man. All right? The Lord sees you, just how you're looking at us through our cameras and through satellites and things like that. Really, it's the Lord looking at you, and it's the Lord laughing at you. Let's see, where do I want to start off at? Let's go back to 13. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. And that's going into the elect, man. Okay? Because we departed from this world and made ourselves a prey. And we speak upright conversation. What does upright conversation consist of? The so-called white man is Esau in the Bible. He's the devil. They're going into sin. We're going to be the next rulers in the kingdom to come. Okay? That is a part of that upright conversation. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Okay, so really Esau is headed towards self-destruction. Esau is going to be the casualty of his own race. Esau is bringing himself down day by day with his wickedness. Okay? And the Lord is just looking down upon you and laughing. Just as you see what we're doing as a joke, the Lord sees you as a joke. Okay? As much as you plot against the just, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to fend for his men. You know, we come out here because we know the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Okay? We have to suffer just to get to it. All right? This is Psalms 34 and verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. So we catch hell, man. We are going to be put through a lot of temptation, a lot of tests, because many are the afflictions of the righteous. Okay? We catch hell on levels we can't even explain it, man. Okay? But we get caught up in things that are unfortunate, so to speak. Things that can't always be put in words. Things that you yourself can only feel and know what you're going through. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. So the so-called white men, they are going to be left desolate. Because see, they plot against us right now. They're looking at our videos, rubbing their hands together, waiting on the day to actually get physical with us, to actually see if we are about what we are talking about, to see if our power is actually real. And you can find that account in Wisdom of Solomon 2. Okay? These devils can't wait to get a hold of us, man. And to put some of us to death, because they will. But even then, that's not the end, because that's really the beginning. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. So everything that Esau took is going to be took from him. That's why the scriptures tell you how the saints are going to take the kingdom. Esau is going to be left desolate. Esau is going to get robbed of all the things that he robbed us for, plus more. All the increase that he's gotten on top of what he's already took is going to be took from him, and he is going to be left desolate. He is going to be casted head first into slavery, hardcore slavery. Okay? The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. So you have to trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You can't be a double-minded man, according to James 1 and 8. Because if you are, you're unstable. And the Lord's not going to fight for you. Okay? But in order for the Lord to fight for you, you have to have that faith, which is something everybody on earth does not have. Okay? I'm gonna start at Ephesians 5. Let's start at verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Mashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. So we're actually coming out here and cleansing our people through this word, man, because our people have been polluted and defiled. So through this word is how our people are being baptized. Okay? That he might sanctify it and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So the Lord is actually a perfectionist. Although we are not perfect, we are to strive for perfection. We are to strive to please the Lord as much as possible in our day-to-day life. Not just coming out here and prophesying, not just when we do our videos, but even outside of all that. When you're at work, when you're out in public, when you're at home, you want to make sure you're not going off. Okay? As much as possible. And make sure that you're being sanctified through this word. Okay? This is Jeremiah 17 and verse 13. O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living waters. So through the Lord is how you receive that living water. That's how you become cleansed through the word. Through this word, the living water. Because this word is actually alive, man. So you can't be in this truth and then have some weird ass doctrine that you done pulled from the world somewhere and then try to mix it with this truth, man. Water and oil will never mix. Iron and clay will never mix. So you can't mix something that's pure with something defiled and think that it's going to remain pure. Okay? which is also why we have to get out of here, because nothing in this world is pure anymore. Nothing. All right? O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed. And the day will come where those who have rejected this word and saw it as boring or uninteresting, or you just wasn't ready yet, okay, you are going to be put to shame. All right? For rejecting this living water, which is really stupid, because why wouldn't you want to serve the Lord? The ways of the Lord are just and perfect, man. Following after the Lord, how can you go wrong? Would you want somebody to pop a woman that you love? Would you want someone to steal from you, especially something that you hold dearly to yourself? All right? Would you want someone to commit sodomy on your son or your daughter? Would you want someone to break in your home and murder you? So why wouldn't you want to serve the Lord if you're against those things? Because it's through this living water where you learn to correct yourself. You learn to become a whole different man. Okay? Verse 14. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. So we need healing, man. We need to be saved. We need deliverance. That's why we come out here. We have to get out of these bodies, man. These bodies suck. The fact that you can't even control when you have to use the restroom. You might be doing something, and then your body's telling you you have to use the restroom. That alone is hell, showing you we have greater things to look forward to. Okay? Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. Behold, they say unto me, where is the word of the Lord? Let it come now. And the word is being pushed out through his prophets, and that's how you're cleansed, and that's how you're baptized. As for me, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow thee, neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest that which came out of my lips was right before thee. Be not a terror unto me, thou art my hope in this day of evil. So you have to hope that when all evil comes, that the Heavenly Father is going to deal with you and pull you through it, man. Because we're in some very evil times. All right? Let's read that verse again. Let's start at 16 though. As for me, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow thee, neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest that which came out of my lips was right before thee. Be not a terror unto me, because the Lord can actually be a terrible power as well. He can put you through a car wreck. He can make you get burned up in a house fire. He can put you in a plane crash. He can allow a drive-by shooting to come after you and kill you. All right? The Lord does all these things. So you want to make sure that you're on the Lord's good side and you're protected from all the evil that's out here in this world. Because at any given time, great evil could be sent your way, and that could be your calamity. But you have to hope and pray that the Lord is your protection and your guidance, your strength, especially in the evil day to come. Going into martial law, going into the FEMA camps, going into the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, going into the economic collapse, okay, when this money system is going to come to a total decline, all right, when there's no jobs, when there's no food and no water, when there's hardly anywhere of safety, you're going to need Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai for your refuge, all right, because he is our strength and our hope, all right. This is Wisdom of Solomon,